House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer issuing 6 new subpoenas over an alleged tip-off regarding a planned Hunter Biden tax probe interview in 2020.
And some big names now being called to testify or turn over documents, including Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Comer gave all the exclusive details to Brooke Singman, who joins us now. Brooke, good morning.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, Chairman Comer initially reached out to DHS and the Secret Service back in June as part of this joint congressional investigation into the alleged politicization of the Hunter Biden investigation at the DOJ. Now, Comer is subpoenaing documents from Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and testimony from 2 Secret Service officials and 3 officials from DHS. Comer says the Department of Justice initiated the Biden family cover-up, and now DHS, under the leadership of Mayorkas, is complicit in it. Investigators were never able to interview Hunter Biden during the criminal investigation because Secret Service headquarters and the Biden transition team were tipped off about the planned interview. Now, guys, this alleged tip-off happened in December 2020. Hunter was being investigated for several crimes, including 2 misdemeanors, failure to pay taxes, firearm possession, and more. Comer says these subpoenas may provide proof that the obstruction and alleged politicization of the investigation into Hunter Biden actually started years ago. Listen.
The IRS investigation into Hunter Biden, which, as we've heard from the IRS whistleblowers, was leading directly to Joe Biden, was obstructed. We've been obstructed at every turn, not only by the Biden attorneys, but also by the Department of Justice, by Homeland Security now. We've been obstructed by the media. We've been obstructed by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, the FBI, and the list goes on and on.
Meanwhile, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan says House Republicans are ready to take these next steps against President Biden. Listen.
We're coming at this from 3 sides to get the facts for the country so we know whether we need to go to impeachment inquiry. But it is looking like more and more every day we need to go to that phase of our oversight work.
Now, guys, as for DHS officials, they say they were trying to cooperate with Comer before these subpoenas, so we will see if they comply with them, and we'll see what House Republicans do when they get back from recess about this impeachment inquiry.
All right, Brooke Singman live for us. Great reporting there. Thank you so much. With that, let's bring in Kaylee McGhee-White, Restoring America editor for the Washington Examiner. Kaylee, good morning to you. What do you think about these subpoenas and where this investigation is going?
Well, I think the better question now here is who was not involved in this Biden family cover-up? I mean, we've had reports in the past about the DOJ cooperating with Hunter Biden's legal team to come up with this sweetheart plea deal. And it seems like everyone was in on it. And now you have these allegations that the Secret Service deliberately tipped off the Biden transition team. And what's interesting here is that we don't actually know why the FBI interview of Hunter Biden did not end up taking place, because it's not clear how this fell apart. What we do know is that around the same time, Hunter Biden's legal team went to the DOJ and warned them that if Hunter Biden was put on the was interviewed, then they would put Joe Biden on the stand. So there was a very clear threat that was delivered to the DOJ at around this same time. So again, the better question is who was not involved in this? And hopefully we're going to start to get to the bottom of that with these subpoenas.
I think that really is the question. You wonder how far the cover-up goes. And I think it makes sense when you hear DOJ, FBI. What I'm confused about, what does Alejandro Mayorkas have to do with Hunter Biden? Why was he subpoenaed? Obviously, Comer knows something that he can't let on at this point. Care to hazard a guess as to why Alejandro Mayorkas?
I mean, he could very well be the one directing the Secret Service to inform the Biden transition team. There are a lot of levels here. There are a lot of layers to the corruption. And Alejandro Mayorkas has been Biden's point man on the failed border crisis. So is it shocking to believe that he would also be the point man on some of these other allegations? Now, the real question for James Comer is, are we going to enforce these subpoenas? Because if these people fail to comply to give a deposition before Congress, that's a misdemeanor. They could be charged with contempt of Congress. So do Republicans have the spine to actually enforce those subpoenas and make it happen?
And speaking of spine, now there's this whole push to launch an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, and that could play well at home for some congressional Republicans. But then there are others who say, well, that would only juice Joe Biden's campaign. So what do you think about that?
It's a difficult balance, because if you look back historically, impeachment inquiries never never go down well in the public. The public doesn't really favor them. This scandal, however, may be so important that Republicans need to just bite the bullet and accept that maybe some independent swing voters aren't going to like it. But overall, the public deserves transparency, and what they uncover might very well, turn the tide of the election in 24 to their favor.
Yeah, we cannot have a president, when he was vice president, potentially changing U.S. foreign policy for money. That can't happen. An impeachment inquiry is necessary there. Meantime, President Biden kicking off a new ad campaign on opening night of the NFL season. Take a look.
Today, inflation is down to 3%, unemployment the lowest in decades. There's more to do, but President Biden is getting results that matter.
I mean, obviously, he's focused on the economy because he thinks he can sell that. But will that commercial change the minds and the hearts, the reality of people when they go to the gas pump, when they go to the grocery store and see prices not really coming down, really just staying high over the course of the last 2.5 years?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many zeros the Biden campaign spends on these ad blitzes at this point, because they directly contradict the reality that many Americans are facing, which is that more and more Americans are having to tap into their savings. They're having to use pay later programs just to pay for basic everyday expenses. And this ad that Biden is putting out, everything in it is a direct lie. I love this one line at the very end where he claims that he's made America energy independent again. Come on, who believes that? Absolutely no one. We see it reflected in our gas prices. And so the American public recognizes that. You look at the polling on this issue, he has like around 30% approval for his handling of the economy. Those numbers aren't going to change.
Yeah, well, this is part of a $25 million ad campaign. It's going to run during Thursday Night Football. If you live in Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Wisconsin, all swing states, you got a little sneak peek right here. Very exciting stuff. Kaylee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.